Today, I am honored to introduce you to Lynn Adamson from Climate Fast, a dedicated volunteer group that strives to build political will for substantial action on climate change by sitting down with elected officials at all levels of government, as well as engaging fellow citizens through public education events. Welcome, Lynn.
Good morning, friends. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today regarding one of the greatest challenges that we face as a society, one with huge stakes for all of us, and especially for our children, grandchildren, and all the amazing creatures we share this planet with. I'm talking about the climate crisis. It is real, it is big, and it means all of us taking action to make the shift required in this decade, these very few years right now, to a sustainable future that will gift our children with a living world. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Share some slides with you. I'm calling this talk Challenge, Choice, and Change, Facing the Climate Crisis. So let us take those as three parts of the whole and first look at the challenge. But before we do, let's reflect for a moment on the truly beautiful world that we live in. The beauty of nature, the love of family and friends, God's creation. This is the precious gift we live with and which we wish to pass on. And right now, our collective responsibility for taking care of creation is not being met. The living world is in deep jeopardy. We are overusing our resources and causing the planet to overheat, resulting in melting glaciers, extreme weather, and acidification of our oceans. I know you are aware of this crisis, and it's hard not to look away as there is so much else we are busy with in our lives, and we may think others are doing all the work. But it's important for everyone to be engaged. This is the generation, this is the moment, and we need our head, hearts, and hands in the struggle to address this challenge. So let's just look at three key facts that can focus our attention here. The planet has a fever. Global temperature is rising. Our Paris target was to keep temperature rise to 1.5 degrees or under 2. But we are on track to see temperature rising much higher than that by the end of the century without major changes right now in this decade. Canadians are not yet doing our part in the global commitment to cut emissions. While other countries have cut theirs, you can see the UK has cut theirs quite a bit between 1990 and 2020, about 40%, but we are still actually increasing. We haven't started as a whole in the country are reducing. We made some progress in Ontario and some progress in Toronto, but overall our emissions are much too high. And we are very dependent on fossil fuels. 80% of our energy comes right now from fossil fuels. So we can see that it's going to be a big challenge to switch to renewable energy. But renewable energy is very cost-effective, solar, wind, and geothermal. We also have a carbon price, and that is helping. But we need to have policies that stop oil and gas companies from producing more oil, gas, and coal than we can burn. This week, the International Energy Agency laid it on the line and said we must stop expanding fossil fuels and develop renewables. And we need to look at which future we are creating. This is the choice question. What future will it be for planet Earth? A green and living future, or one where life systems fail under too much stress? To protect our living planet, we must change. And to do that, we need the imagination to vision the world that we want to see, and we need the determination to make the changes and elect the governments who will match our determination with the actions that are required. We must reduce emissions 7% per year this decade, and we've never done that. We've never done that, even during COVID. So we're not really started on the path yet. We might think that it's all happening, but it's not. So I'm hoping that you'll join me in rolling up our collective sleeves to make these changes we need to make, because this is our motivation. We have kids and grandkids, nieces and nephews. Can you picture one who is special to you right now that you care about their future? Our love for these children can be the catalyst for action, and they are counting on us. Many of us, I'm just going to stop the share for one moment because I want to just say, many of us don't know what to do, but I also know that many people in this congregation are active. You are taking actions, both personally and politically, to make a difference. You have supported the declaration of a climate emergency. You have moved your money to ethical investments, and many of you have met with your MP. These are very important steps to take, because we need a government that will stop giving money to fossil fuel companies and support instead the transition to renewables, will stop urban sprawl, and will protect farmland, wetlands, and forests. And we need community action. This is not a problem one person or family can solve alone. We need to do this together. So I'll share the screen again. I can do that. And here. There we go. Okay, so I'm really encouraging you to either join a group, and Climate Fast is very open to new members, or form your own. Many communities in the Greater Toronto Area are forming Green Neighbours groups to make changes locally. And this new network, Green Neighbours Network, has just celebrated its first anniversary and welcomes new groups. That's actually my sister, Lee Adamson, on the left side of that photo. She's chairing the Green Neighbours Network, and I'm chairing the Climate Fast. So we're both taking on groups, and we're both open to people joining. So there are many roles in the team of ours. Use your strengths: nurturing and supporting, frontline, doing research, calling people together, connecting cross-generation, physically building things, and building community is all needed. And a divest is one of the areas that's making a really big change, moving our money. Bank organizations and pension funds are reevaluating their investments under consumer pressure. That's us speaking up. There's a campaign called Bank Switch that you can get involved in, and Climate Pledge Collective is hosting work on that. And there's a pension campaign called Shift Action. So this is an area that we all can work in. And we can all work on developing a circular economy. So you might have heard of the donut, an economic model that has the goal to live within our environmental limits while meeting the basic needs of everyone. And a circular economy is one where nothing is wasted. So we can be involved in zero waste initiatives. Climate conversations, just talking with others and communicating our hopes and fears about the climate crisis, opens the door to both personal and collective action. Would you consider hosting a climate conversation? Right now that can happen on Zoom with support from Climate Fast trained facilitators. In the conversations, we focus on sharing our values, why we care, our feelings, and our ideas and solutions, ways to take action personally and together. We can spread these living room or kitchen table discussions far and wide. So if you can offer one, and then maybe somebody who comes to your conversation will offer one of their own, with family, with friends, with work colleagues. And this way we spread out this concern and engagement, because we really need everyone engaged. Within Climate Fast, we have committees as well on working on retrofits, and we offer the webcasts. Our next webcast is going to be Monday, June 7th, which is Environment Day. We're looking at the potential of agriculture to draw down carbon into the soil, which is really important. Agriculture is a big source of emissions, but it also can be a climate solution. We are always in need of volunteers. Do you have experience with the media? Do you have experience in other ways? Whatever your skills and interests, we need you, and you will be warmly welcome to our team. We also need to expect an effective climate plan from government and expect results. So with 3 elections coming in the next 18 months at the federal, provincial, and municipal levels, that gives us 3 opportunities to elect climate champions, and we need them. We need them in order to make the strides forward. So this is a slide for a new global campaign called the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty. You can join as an individual, you can join as a group. I'm bringing it to my Quaker meeting next week to ask them to join. And climate groups in Toronto are currently mobilizing to get Toronto to join Vancouver in endorsing the campaign. Vancouver was the first city in the world to join this campaign. We'll then call on the federal government to take this global. This would mean stopping any expansion of oil, gas, and coal, and it would mean planning the phase out and shifting to renewables that we need. Because see, this is not even covered in the Paris Agreement. So this is something we need to talk to our MPs about and get Canada to be involved in. I think it's really important to work across generations, and we help to support Fridays for Future, participate in their actions. Right now it's virtual, but here's one from the front of Queen's Park. This way we join hands across the generations to create change. And I will say that church communities are very good at creating change across the generations. You can engage your families, your neighbors, and you can speak to your elected representatives for your congregation. That is important because when we speak up and build a social movement, we change society. So the moral message of caring for our children is a powerful one. We need to act together on climate, and we need to act fast. And we go farther when we go together. We are the advocates for change. We are the co-creators of the future. God has no other hands but ours, no other voice but the one that we raise. And together, collectively, we can raise our voices, and we can really make a difference to the future our children will live in. Please get involved. We offer training. We welcome you in, and also we support the initiatives that you take on locally in groups that you're part of already, because it's going to take all of us working together. I'd like to close with this prayer for our earth. All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love that we may protect life and beauty. Thank you.